Well, AI is a reality, Jay, and definitely for Nvidia more than for anyone else. And I think as students of AI, and all of us still grappling with what this technology is, how transformational it is, and how it's going to change our lives, we'd love to understand the NVIDIA architecture of AI. And NVIDIA famously talks about that 5-layered cake. and it's great for audience to understand that 5-layered cake, when we talk about, whether it's energy or chips and data and then apps and, models. And I don't think I got that sequence right, but no one better than you to break it down for us, to unpack that 5-layered cake for us and help us understand what's going on in the world.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, AI, the ability to manufacture intelligence at scale, it's a miracle. I mean, it is just amazing, and it is unleashing a new industrial revolution. It's going to be as essential infrastructure as electricity or transportation, internet. The impact on society is going to be huge. The question is, how did it become a reality?
Right.
And there is actually a very fundamental change in the way computing and software is done, which is what made it possible. So in the past, as you know, software was very explicit. You had to tell a computer exactly what to do. You wrote the program or the algorithm, gave it access to structured data, and then, it would essentially, do what you asked it to do. Well, AI and the computers now are very different. You can basically talk to them, ask them questions. They understand what is your intent, what is the context, and then they're able to reason about things and give incredible responses or take action and so on. It's really amazing because now the types of things you can do literally is what humans could do before with our intelligence, right? And this all became possible. So in the past, as I said, everything was pre-programmed, and when you were talking to computers, etc., you were essentially retrieving stuff that was already been pre-recorded. Now everything is being done in real time. These responses are all real time. And so that requires a tremendous amount of compute to be able to do that. Nvidia essentially pioneered that method of computing. We were able, previously, computing was basically driven by Moore's law. And essentially, computers got twice as fast every 18 months, 10 times as fast every 5 years, 100 times as fast every 10 years. In the past 10 years, since AI came to the fore, Nvidia has increased computing by 1 million times. And
wow,
we continue,
1 million times.
1 million times.
Amazing, right.
And that's kind of, that is totally transformational, and that's what has made this AI stack, possible to be able to do that. So let me talk a little bit about the 5-layer cake that you bring up. It's the 5-layer stack. Jensen calls this the 5-layer cake, right. which is interesting. And so here is what it is. At the foundation, it's about energy. So the amount of energy, the amount of compute or intelligence, the amount of intelligence that you will be able to produce fundamentally, of course, depends upon how much energy you have. And so that is the most basic of constraints. On top of that, we have chips.
Right.
And that's where, NVIDIA builds the most advanced chips when it comes to, parallel processing, graphics processors. You need high bandwidth memory. You need very fast interconnect and so forth. And these chips you have to make sure they're all co-engineered to work well together, because ultimately they determine the horsepower of the system, if you will. They determine how fast the ultimate factory is going to be. And the faster something is, that is directly proportional to being lower cost. And
Correct.
so the faster we can make it, the lower the cost, and
right.
the more affordable it is, which is, of course, very important. Then the next layer of the stack is what we call infrastructure.
Correct.
This is actually building the AI factories, okay?
Right.
So you need the land, you need to build out the shell for the data center, you need to provision it with the appropriate power and cooling and connectivity and so on. Then you take the chips that I talked about, you put them in servers, and you connect them with very high-speed networking. You have a whole software layer that is on top to make it work. So these are AI factories.
And that's the infrastructure layer.
That's the infrastructure layer. Billions of dollars of investment, and so it's really important that this be built very well.
Right.
And so, Nvidia has reference architectures that help you design the data center appropriately, reference end-to-end architecture to, build out the AI factory so that the total cost of ownership is as low as it can be and the return can be very, very fast. On top of the infrastructure, the next layer then is the models.
Right.
So these models are like, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Grok, and so on. These are the proprietary models that
and if I may add now, Sarvam as well.
I was going to go there because this
Yes.
is really important, Shweta. The other set of models that are there are the open models.
Correct.
And the ones like DeepSeek and Quen, and now Nvidia has the Nemotron models.
Right.
And then Servam and all these other indigenous sovereign models that are being built we are helping them with the Nemotron, and those are extremely important to India's sovereign strategy, and hopefully we'll talk more about that.
I'd love to actually talk more about that, Jay.
Well, let me just
finish the fifth layer. Yes, please.
Of the cake.
Of course, very important that we have the cake.
We gotta have the full
and the top
cake.
layer is very important too. Yes.
Yeah, well, actually, the top layer in some ways is the most important, and
Right.
that is the applications that are built on top.
Correct.
And because these are the applications where the real economic value is brought to industry, right? So whether it be healthcare, manufacturing, finance, every single industry is going to be transformed, manufacturing, and so that's where all the applications are being built, and all the services, including all the public services in India, are going to be developed on top of that. So that's the 5 layers. Okay, energy, chips, infrastructure, models, and applications. And each layer sort of pulls on the layer beneath, and it's all extremely important.
Jay,